Well, good evening folks. It's been a little while, well not that long really, but a few weeks longer than I had planned for this video, but nevertheless, here we are. And over the last couple of weeks, I finally got around to doing something that I said to myself I would do all summer, and that is head out with my camera on a few nice days and just drive around the countryside, walk around some roads, take some photos, just chill out and just enjoy taking photos. And it certainly didn't disappoint. I'll not bore you explaining things, so let's start with a few pretty perfect evenings driving around the old country back roads with the Nikon FE and a roll of Kodak Gold. The footage from this first part is actually shot on the phone. I forgot the memory card for the camera. I don't know what exactly it is about these cornfields or whatever they are, but I do love how they look. I do love a good field anyway, as you may know, but when these crops grow up high like this with the golden tops, it looks so nice and it just adds even more of a countryside feeling, I think. I mean, this area is quite rural, but I think it makes it feel even more rural. I don't know, but I love how it looks anyway. You might have heard me say in that clip before I took that photo that I got the little plane as well. There was a little plane flying around, and right as I took this photo it was in the frame, but I'm actually not sure where it is in the frame. I'm pretty sure I got it, and I think this might be it, but it could also be a mark on the film. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, it didn't really add to the scene like I thought it might when I was taking the photo. But anyway, it turned out pretty nicely, and it would also work pretty perfectly alongside my other countryside back road style photos. Pretty much the same shot here as the last one, but literally just a few minutes later, and the sun had just went down, so the light is much flatter, which is also quite nice. I kind of like the angle of this one a bit more, I think. The gate just being a bit more diagonal to me adds a bit more depth. But the positioning of the wind turbine in the background is not just as nice. But yeah, this was just a few minutes later, and the light is quite a bit different. It's pretty cool to see side by side. Which one would you say you prefer more? I'd be interested to know in the comments. So a few mornings later, I finally decided to get up for a little sunrise photo session, go for a little drive again into some country back roads with some nice fields and stuff, and hopefully get some shots. And as often the case, sunrise did not disappoint. It was a really nice hazy sunrise, and I just drove around the back roads, pulling over when I thought there was the potential for a photo. So if you remember from a previous video where I was in the same area driving around the country back roads, I took this photo, which turned out pretty terrible. I let the camera meter, and I mentioned in that video that I kind of knew this might happen. It totally underexposed the photo because it was exposing for the bright parts of the sky. And this time, because this was a similar style of shot, just a little bit wider, and I was shooting directly into the sun, I adjusted my exposure compensation a little bit. I think it was either one stop or half a stop over, and I think it helped, but because there was more of a foreground in this one, the camera meter exposed more for the foreground, I think, which made the sky a tad overexposed. If I had have just left the exposure compensation on 0 and let the camera do its thing for this one, it probably would have turned out almost perfect, this shot, but you live and learn. I normally don't really shoot too many detail shots this close, normally because I don't really see anything that I want to shoot this close, or if I do, I normally end up forgetting. But I do love these backlit spiderweb shots. I shot these photos at f4, I believe, which is about as low as I would go with a Nikon because the focus plane is so small and things just aren't as sharp when you go lower than that. From my experience anyway. But at least I managed to nail the focus on this one, and with the backlighting I think it turned out pretty nice. A nice little countryside detail shot which just mixes things up a little bit with my other shots, and if I ever put together a zine or a book for this kind of project, if you want to call it that, these little detail shots are nice to throw in the mix. And unfortunately I finished the roll on that last shot of film. I forgot that I put in a 24 shot roll of Kodak Gold instead of a 36, which was a little bit annoying because it was kind of getting into the groove. I could have took a lot more photos that morning, but I'm quite happy with the ones I got. It was fun. It's just a little annoying I didn't have another roll with me, but what do you do? It does just mean that I'll have to take a drive there again, which is certainly not a bad thing. Obviously all of the shots I got on this one weren't really keepers, but there was definitely a few portfolio shots in there, which is pretty nice, and overall I would say it was a pretty perfect few days of photography. For me anyway, that's what I'm hoping every time I go out. Obviously that can't happen, but those conditions, that area, the type of shots I was taking, yeah, it was right in my element right there. I think it kind of goes without saying, but my favourite photo in this one is the one that I currently have on screen behind me here at the minute. The shot of the gate on the wall here with the cornfields or whatever those are in the background, and the wind turbine, nice blue sky, pretty perfect conditions for me, kind of exactly what I want to be shooting in almost all the time. Countryside fields in a photo in those kind of conditions, pretty perfect for me. There's just something about those type of photos where it's just like something you would come across when you're just walking the back roads. That's the kind of photos I want to take. Just those scenes, it might be just a corner of a road, a gate that I often take photos of, a field with a view of the mountains. Just, I don't know how to describe it any other way than it just feels like you're on a country walk. Something like that. But yeah, I love how this photo turned out, and it's exactly what I was hoping I would get when I went out for these drives. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I did develop a few rolls of film, including the rolls from our Italy trip last year, so that video will be coming soon, and another few rolls using the little half-frame camera that I have, which is just really fun. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let me know which photo from this video was your favourite, because it's always interesting to see which one you guys like. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, so as we always say, take it easy, don't be a stranger.